Welcome to Anything is Possible. It's Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. Welcome in. We're back in the basement tonight and got a real loose agenda to chat with, but I'm just going to wait for a few people to find us. While people are rolling into our live, I will just give the channel update, I guess the State of the Union here, and then we're going to get to other conversations. I try not to take this stuff too seriously. Bud Files, welcome in. How you doing? Just giving a quick update on the channel where we're at. Subs, I just looked, 1,337, which is amazing. I'm getting a lot of those from shorts, and the shorts we do just for fun. We really do. We're not trying to get monetized off. We never will anyway. You need, I don't know, like 1 million shorts or something to get monetized. We have like 208,000. Chad, welcome in, bud. How you doing? But we love doing the shorts. We like doing the releases and picking the songs. It's corny as it is. It's something that works with our family. We like doing. Watch hours is the big one. That's what we need to get monetized. And I try not to take it too serious, but we've been within 40 hours of getting monetized. So it's like if we're doing what we're doing and we can be monetized, it's like, of course we want to be monetized. Daniel Barry, welcome in, buddy. So yeah, for that, we need 160 hours. We have 2,840 for the first rung. It's enough of that stuff. I don't know. I got a couple things to talk about, but the first thing I wanted to talk about is I kind of wanted to see what everyone's doing for Halloween. I guess that's the next holiday. It falls on it's a bummer. Falls on a Monday or a Tuesday this year. What's today? The 24th? That would fall on Tuesday. Yeah, that kind of stinks. Hey, butterflies and sunshine, welcome in. What's everybody doing for Halloween? Any parties? Trick-or-treating? Favorite candy? Whatever you want to talk about. Worst candy? Nobody really trick-or-treats where I live because we don't have any sidewalks or anything, so it's kind of dangerous. But we usually take the kids over to a development that's like 20 minutes from here and get candy there. What's up, Ted? What's going on, buddy? Yeah, we're just asking plans for Halloween right now. Tim likes to fish. Welcome in. I forget if you guys can drop links or not while you're in StreamYard because I rarely use StreamYard. But if you can drop links, feel free to drop your own links or a friend's link. You can always do that in my chats or my lives. Chad, that's inflammatory. Candy corn is probably the most hated candy. I personally do like candy corn, but I feel like that's probably the most hated. I am going to talk about a serious topic later about hunting and fishing and animals harvested and even with fish, do you catch and release and do you harvest? Why do you or don't you eat the fish or eat the animals? That's going to be a loaded topic a little bit later, but I wanted to start with something fun. I honestly don't know what we're doing for Halloween. The kids are up there carving pumpkins tonight. And I would love to televise that like Bud Files does. I saw their kids carving pumpkins, but my family functions. The boys like to fight. And as soon as you stick a camera on them, it's hard to have both of them in the same room without a fight starting. I can hear them up there fighting it now, actually. There you go. People. All right, butterflies and sunshine. Thanks for dropping some links there. I appreciate that. What was your favorite costume? Any cool costume ideas? We always just throw something together. I like to do the pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean. And I was going to do a live on Friday the 13th down in Philly, but then I thought the better of it. Probably not the best spot to hang out at 3 a.m. in a pirate costume, Center City, Philadelphia. But I think my favorite candy's got to be like Snickers. We have a stray cat now that we adopted and got neutered this week. So he might be in here. And if he comes in, he's going to be all over this computer. So he loves laying on top of this computer. Got a pumpkin to carve with Katie before Halloween. Nice. Yeah, we usually end up getting them too early, carving them, and then they all get moldy and go bad. But we always feed ours to the deer afterwards. So, and we take the seeds and we bake them. We roast the seeds and eat them. I enjoy doing it. Just so busy this year with work and stuff. It's been crazy. Michael Myers' favorite costume for Tim. That's a good one. Jack Katzenbass, welcome in there, buddy. Okay, awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, if anyone wants to pop up, I can pop up. I can let you pop up. I can drop the link. Hey, Randall, welcome in, buddy. Mask, blue overalls, knife. Yeah, it's Michael Myers. Jerry, don't start with me. We're not fishing tonight. Well, I got home like an hour ago. It's already dark and it's hard to get a spot to go. So no fishing tonight. I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break from fishing. We've still been fishing, but they just stocked trout. So like there's nothing to really televise when it comes to the trout, unless we really get a game plan, but we're like filling the freezer. We're chasing the trout and harvesting them. It's not the most sporting thing, honestly. Hey, Stuart, welcome in, buddy. Yeah, I'm going to drop the link a little bit if anybody wants to pop up. Just keep in mind, there's a lot of kids who watch our channel because of Kevin, and a lot of them can't even chat, but they can be in chat. So it can't have smoking or like drinking or like carrying on. Not that I don't personally mind that stuff, but I don't want to have that like out there for kids to be watching. It's not a good look. So I hope you understand that. All right, I will find a link. Get my Scottish brother a link here. Let me bear with me a minute. I should have done this ahead of time. I totally forgot. Over here. Okay. StreamYard. Right. Copied. There's the link. If you want to grab that, Stuart, I'll keep my eye on the basement. So yeah, I figure we talk about Halloween. I'm curious to see, like, do they have Halloween even in Scotland, Stuart? What do you guys do over there for it? I know it's like it's supposed to be like a religious holiday. Like the next day is supposed to be what, All Souls Day. And I know, well, at least from what I remember in school, it was supposed to be like a big, like the Mexican culture was like really celebrated it. But I don't know. So much stuff they told us in school was a bunch of BS. So who knows? Yeah, Stuart, let me know if that link doesn't work for you. If anyone else wants to pop up and chat. I think you're coming, Stuart, but I don't see you yet. There you go. All right. Yeah, boy.
Hello.
Stuart. So if you guys don't know Stuart, the fish whisperer, he's like a fly tyer, and he ties flies for like saltwater and for trout. And he's my Scottish brother and Kevin's Scottish uncle. Welcome in.
How are you, man? Hi, chat.
I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good. It's like 7 p.m. here. Comes Lyle with the slow clap in the background. Stuart's on, bud.
Where's Kevin?
God knows. He's around. He'll show up eventually. I hear him running around up there, but he was outside. He likes to be out moving around. So I think they were out playing like tennis or something in the yard. I don't know. He'll be in. What are you up to?
Well, we'll have to find you another fly box.
Yeah, I haven't seen tomorrow. I'm always working from home Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm in the office. And now I'm working right next to my boss, who is like laying off half the company and freaking out because they're just realizing they don't really know what the company does, how they do it. So it's like I know they're laying me off, and they won't say that, but I know they're laying me off, and they're trying to get all this information out of me, having me write down procedures, and it's like I'm digging my own grave there. So I'm like, yeah, sorry if I don't show up to work with a smile on.
Talk about throwing you under the bus while you're trying
Brutal.
to.
It's brutal, man. If you
You
don't
get
have
thrown
street
under the.
lights, they're on. Oh man. Yeah, so we tying all
You get-
day today, I guess.
I've been tying up a fair few.
You
I've
had
been tying up
bad
a fair
weather,
few.
right? Didn't you? Yeah.
Yep.
So how'd you guys make out where
I-
you were? Like how many inches of rain did you get?
Well, put it like this: we had 2 months of rain in 24 hours.
Holy cow. So you got like did you get a lot of flooding?
Yep.
Yeah.
The street that's basically. I'm only 5 minutes away from the river, but I'm kind of up a hill. So
Okay.
Wendy and I were safe, but the people who were down there, I can safely say some of them do not even want to come back home.
Yeah. Yeah. Once a house is flooded, I don't know like what they do in Scotland, but like here, once your house is flooded, man, you got like 3 days to like dry everything out, or else you got like mold and some major
Well,
problems.
the thing is, we're used to this, but the way I'm meaning it is, like back in the olden days, we had a railing going along the river,
Mhm.
along River Street. We used to have railings. Now, when River Street flooded, okay, the damage was like ground level, if you know what I mean. Like people who were like
Mhm.
living on ground floor flats. It was only them that was getting flooded out, but was never to the extent of this. I mean, we have now got a flood defense wall, and with that wall, it's like, how can I explain this? It's like for a river to try and come over there. I mean,
Mhm.
it got 10. It was like 10 inches on a previous flood. I actually
Yeah.
put my hand over the wall. I could actually feel the river, and I was thinking, this wall's like 6 feet high in some places,
Yeah.
and I'm putting my hand over there, and I could feel it, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, that's then. And then we had we have this, and it's like the water actually came over the wall, and I'm thinking, right, we were promised that this was once in a 100
Yeah.
year flood.
Right. Right.
We've now
That's
had
for here. Like
we've
what
had
I
two.
see is like the floods come faster. Like it's not like you're getting like they're getting worse storms, but like it's not that they're like that much worse. I think the issue that I see, and I studied a little bit of this, like in college and things with like geology and like
Hmm.
we're putting in a lot of impervious materials, right? So driveways, parking lot, everything's paved. Like Buddy wants everything to look pretty. They have lawns instead of woods. And if you think about rain, you're supposed to have swamps, right? You're supposed to have sticks that block the water
Hmm.
temporarily, high grass that slows it down, but that's not the way
Hmm.
people want their yard to look. It attracts bugs. It doesn't look ideal. So everybody's in a rush to get the water off the lawn into a culvert and out to the river as soon as possible. And you get these
Hmm.
floods that are just flashing so fast. And then the next day they're like, you're back down to low water levels again. That's what we see here.
When I was at Sammy's, when I was like down there for the weekend staying with him, when I got down there, um, now I was going from like northeast of Scotland, which is like, if you look at my flag, so if
Mhm.
I'm doing it this way, I'm trying to like look. So like Brechin's up here,
Okay.
Sammy is like away down here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going cross country,
Hmm.
and I was like, something's amiss. Something's not right, because when I got down to a place called Girvan, the rain was battering, and I'm thinking, what way is this going? And then it wasn't until Sunday night Wendy messaged me, and said that there's been a lot of flooding up here, and I'm thinking, well, how bad is it? And
It wasn't bad at that.
I mean, it wasn't really bad at that point, but come Monday, come Monday, when I was coming back up here, I had to get diverted through 3 major cities: Glasgow to Edinburgh, Edinburgh to Dundee, and then I had to get from Dundee to Montrose. I mean, I
Oh,
know
by, like,
Montrose isn't
train?
the city. Basically, going by train. The main line from Glasgow to Aberdeen basically was a no-go.
Huh.
I was like, how bad is this? Now, that was only within the last month, about a
Wow.
month ago. And then we've got this. I mean,
Yeah.
there's people across in the States who have got videos of what happened here
Mhm.
because it was all over the news. And I tried to explain this to other people. And I'm getting called BS. I don't know nothing. I'm thinking,
Hmm.
I've got a video on my channel. It's in my live section. If anybody wants to watch it, whoever's in chat, it is there. It's 14 minutes, 36 seconds. And that is basically me seeing it for the first time. I never thought I'd ever see that.
Yeah, it's
I
scary.
mean,
I don't know.
that the thing is though, brother Bob. I mean, the thing is, Bob. You go down to River Street. Back in 2015, when the flood defences were getting made, we said all you need is a 2.5-foot wall. Put the railings on top of the wall. Get the south bank dredged and put the river back to its original levy where it should be to start with.
Yeah.
Not this bottleneck that's at the start of River Street.
The
That's the
other
problem.
problem with the walls, though, and not so much, I guess, like in the ocean and bays and things, but like rivers, like from my experience, is what happens is like you take these measurements on observations for like the last 50 years, right? But then you're building places you shouldn't really build on to begin with. And then every town, because they build it too close to the water, they build a wall, right? To protect them. So what that does is it takes that water that should have flooded there, naturally creating like, water areas and lowland. And you're pushing the problem downstream, and it just keeps going down to the first town that can't afford a big wall. And then they get hammered. That's what we see on some of our rivers. The news ignores it, and they say global warming or climate change or whatever they call it. And climate's changing and all, but a lot of it is to do with the way that they're constructing towns, and they're doing it to make money. These people that want to live there are very rich, so everyone's making money. The insurance companies, they're making money on it. The house gets wrecked. They don't care. It's business. They rebuild. They're profiting every single time it happens. And then they'll say the storm is if you ever watch their metrics, and what they do is they'll say this is the worst storm ever. But what they're saying is the most expensive storm ever. Well, of course it is. Prices keep going up. So of course it's going to be more and more expensive. There's richer and richer people moving to the coasts. So it's a lot.
I mean, we are the last major town before we go to Montrose. Where I stay is the last major town. Now we said that. Well, actually, I said this to my dad. I said to him 3 or 4 years ago. I was down fishing the river with him, and I said to him, I says, I was just shaking. I was just nodding my head. I was like, And he says, what are you looking at? I was actually taking a line that was across on the far bank, because what we got down on one of the angling club stretches is called the Kincraig Beat. And it's all it's basically like a brae that's made out of clay. It's called a clay braes. So they got this beautiful red clay banking. Now you can't stand on it because you just sink. Now I said to my man, I was just like, He says, what are you doing? I says, I'm taking a line that we're looking at of how high this water has to be to have catastrophic damage for across the far bank. And he went, how high are you talking? I says, well, it's coming. I don't know when, But from the flood that happened 2001, 2002, you add that to 2015, and that we had the one that I just basically put my hand over the wall, which I think was 2001, 2021, 22, I think it was.
About that.
And I was like,
That was 2021.
2021. I was like, I'm taking a water level, and he's like, what are you getting at? It says, I can guarantee you this flood is going to come, and it's going to basically wipe out what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's
And he's
crazy.
like, he says, how are you judging this? He says, it's coming. Now that only took basically since like 2021, but I mean 2015, I would say.
Hey, real-time catfishing. Welcome in, buddy. That's Mr. Parker over there.
Hello and welcome. So yeah, I was like, it's taken 8 years for this to come true.
Yeah. So we were talking about Halloween. Do you have Halloween? Do you celebrate Halloween in Scotland?
We do.
So is it like a candy gathering holiday, or is it more of like the day after, or your All Souls Day?
We have geysers. We have trick or treaters. When I could say geysers, trick or treaters, the same kind of thing. We get people dressed in costumes. What else have we had? People dressed up with costumes. We've had like parties that we used to have, like places to go and like have like a massive like Halloween party.
Sounds pretty simple. Do the kids have off from school like that day or a day after or anything?
They don't get off the next day, if it's a school day.
It's pretty simple. It sounds exactly like how we have it then.
I mean, it's like, I don't understand why not you, I'm just like, why would you have Halloween, right, and then go to school the next day?
I blew my mind. That was like the holiday. It was like one of my favorite holidays as a kid. But I hated the fact that we couldn't go to school the next day. And for me personally, growing up with my family, like we'd go out and do the trick or treating. And then as soon as we got back to the house, we'd talk about hunting. Like it was literally like the beginning of hunting season here back then anyway. So we'd buy we'd have we'd have all the gear out, the collars. My grandfather would be over our house and he was a hunter. My dad was a hunter. My brother was there, was a hunter. So we were all we had goose calls. Like we were all just carrying on, getting pumped up. And I think it was even for a while there, I think buck season was like the following Monday. So it was like, you were real close to like going out, off from school in the woods. Who did I just came in? J&J, welcome in. Speaking of
hey, Gigi.
Welcome in, buddy.
Hi, Tim.
The other thing I wanted to ask tonight, and I'm gonna keep track. I'm curious. I wanted to find out what animals, and these I should limit this. It has to be animals that you or someone else has harvested, like shot, hunted, or caught fishing rod that you've eaten. Trying to make a list and figure out how many animals people have eaten in different species. I know we're all going to have a lot of common ones, but I bet you we have some really odd ones out there. And I say this because not to like totally ruin the video coming, but Lyle shot his first squirrel the other day. So we're making squirrel pot pie. So all right, bud. So yeah, I guess my question would be, what's the weirdest animal you've eaten, Stuart?
Would probably be a gray squirrel.
Gray squirrel? That's pretty common here, but I'll write it down.
It's not common here because gray squirrels aren't meant to be here.
Gotcha.
They're not a native, like an indigenous species. They're not an indigenous species.
Atlas, welcome in. What other squirrels? Do you have any squirrels that are supposed to be there?
We've got red ones. So red ones are native to, and they're our indigenous species.
Okay.
Grey squirrels. I've had rabbit, pigeon, deer.
And you guys in chat, you can participate too. Tell me what I'm making a list of the animals you've eaten. I want to see if you name any animals that I haven't eaten, because I've eaten a lot of them.
Well, I actually made a venison casserole yesterday.
We don't even have beef. We have a freezer full of venison. So like that's the most common thing we eat is rare, I guess, for most people. Like we eat venison instead of beef.
Oh man, well, wild boar I've had. I will be honest, I have had that.
Wild boar is delicious. Yeah.
It's one of the. See, this is if you get wild boar, that complements venison. That complements venison really well.
Yeah. It's basically like the cuts that I've had with the boar, to me, taste like well, I've had a lot of like the what do they call it down south in America? They call it fatback. It's like bacon kind of cut. Oh my god, it's awesome. Skunk, I've never had. I would not put my nose up on it because I've had porcupine, I've had beaver, and I've had people tell me it's disgusting and nasty. And I've had it prepared by natives, both of those in Alaska, and they were delicious. So I think it's all like knowing how to harvest and how to use it, you know. For fish, I have to say, like my weirdest thing and I don't think it's weird because I learned the history of it, and you probably don't either in Scotland, but carp. In America, people either have this like high regard for carp or it's a trash fish. There's not a lot of people in the middle. So I think it's delicious.
What I mean, see, the thing is, carpacross, you're like coarse fish, so you're not allowed to actually take them home. It's not like catch and release purposes.
Yeah.
They want them
out from a lot of the body. So I know that's different because I've seen videos. Like I think over in England is where I'm like thinking the videos where they'd catch them, they'd have to like actually administer first aid before letting them go again. Like they knew the names of them, you know, they were very protected. Stu, Tim said they probably taste like chicken. That's exactly right.
Everything across in America tastes like chicken.
That's what people say.
If it tastes like chicken, it's probably true.
Chicken is like so plain. I guess that's why, like, it's a compliment. I guess, like, it didn't taste bad. You know, I don't know. All right, Mr. Rogers, I got a carp. I got another one for carp. Carp is delicious. Carp, and I don't want to repeat an old live I did, but carp were raised for food, especially in America. Like when they were settled in the West, they ordered carp from England to stock these frontier ponds as a food source, as a protein source. And they specially bred them for flavor, just like they do with cows. They bred them to taste good. And suddenly what's funny is what made them become unpopular in America. It's so telling with so many things. It's not that people said, oh, they taste bad. What happened was the price dropped so that regular people could buy them. Because before that, it was like a noble thing. All the rich loved it. But as soon as like the poor folks could eat it, they're like, it's a trash fish. It's like, but you were eating it. It was only for kings, you know?
Here's one for you then, Bob. Here's one for you. Right? Across here in the UK, I only found this out within the last year. I was watching a guy called Fishlocker. He's a YouTuber from Cornwall, which is down south, like the last place before you can like hit the open ocean to go to like sort of Spain or like South America type of thing. He was on about monkfish.
Monkfish.
Now, monkfish is a poor man's lobster.
I've heard of that.
Right. So when you look at the texture of the meat that comes from a monkfish, is exactly the same as a lobster. So when you've got a lobster, which is like cost an arm and a leg to get, you can get a lobster, but then if you put them into like scampi bites, it's actually it's like monkfish.
Yep.
It's
yep.
monkfish that covers it
It's
because it's a
amazing.
poor man's.
It's amazing
poor
what
man's
people
lobster.
value and what they put money on, and then they'll stick their nose up at something else. And it's,
Mm-hmm.
you got to try it, man. You can't like make fun of it unless you try it, you know. And you meet, like for me, traveling a lot with racing and stuff. Like I just got to meet a lot of different cultures who I ate things that they thought were normal, and that's like a big difference. Like if you're eating something that you're like, oh, I don't know if I should eat this, and you're surrounded by other people that are like, I don't know, I've never eaten that. You're like, oh, but if you go into somebody's houses, like that's their dinner. Suddenly you're like, you're open to it because it's like, well, now I'm the weirdo because I'm afraid to eat this. And then you eat it and you're like, oh, it tastes fine.
I mean, like, okay, like my mate Dave that you've probably seen in my lives that I've done.
Butterfly and Sunshine says monkfish is great.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dave used to be a deer stalker. That used to be his job. And he says that venison, even though it's the most leanest meat you'll get, it's the best meat you'll ever taste.
Yeah, I'm like, it drives me nuts when people are like, oh, you know, venison's gamey or whatever. I'm like, you're doing something wrong. You know, like I've shot probably 30 deer, and I think the last 20 I've probably butchered myself, and I take them from field to freezer myself. And and even the older ones, you know, yeah, they're a little bit tougher, and you got to cook them in a different style, but they're awesome. The biggest mistake I personally feel like people make is mixing the meat with pork. And everybody mixes it with pork here because their mind is like, oh, venison's really lean, so you need to add fat to it, right? But the problem is when you're cooking something lean, it cooks like really fast. So now you're taking something that cooks really fast and you're adding something like pork that takes longer to cook, right? So what happens is you cook the pork properly, you're overcooking the venison. So you're already in your mind's like, oh, the venison, you know, you can taste the deer meat and it's like a negative to the dish. So I don't do that. I very rarely, if I add pork at all, it's for burgers and it's bacon. It's not pork. I'm adding straight bacon. But what I've done, I'll cook it straight and then I'll add the fat above it, like cheese or something. Like when you serve it, I'll add something else to the side that you can mix with it, but I don't combine it into a patty. I just feel like you can't cook it the right way.
Well, last night I made a. Well, yesterday evening I actually made a. What do you call it?
Venison.
A venison casserole.
Venison and bacon casserole.
But the thing is, when I looked at the venison, I was like, I actually put pork chunks in amongst it. It was like basically like bacon chunks.
Yeah.
I
if
was
you're
like,
doing
no,
casserole like baking with lower heat, you could probably get away with it more than if you're pan frying. You know, I think you could probably do a better job mixing.
Well, when I mixed them both together, I cooked them both at the same time in the same pot. So I was just burning off I was burning off the venison, browning off basically trying to turn the pork to a different color, even though it was already smoked. What I done was I basically like put in cold water once everything was browned off, and I just left it.
Nice.
And then what I threw in an onion. Went to the shop that's just 5 minutes from me. Went there, and what was it? Got carrots. Came back round to home with a jar of mixed herbs. So a jar of mixed herbs, gravy. Well, it was chicken gravy. And let's say carrots, and the three of them just went in the pot once I like reduced the water down a bit, and they just basically made one of the most delicious meals ever. Like it was gorgeous.
I love like stews or casseroles where you bake the juices out of like the vet. Yeah, it's so good, and it prevents anything from drying out. So, Tim said I've added ground bacon to some venison burger before. It's awesome. What I do is I have a meat grinder because since I grind so much of the meat, what I'll do is like I'll take the venison and I'll freeze it in like 2-pound packs, and then I'll take that out when I'm ready to make burgers, And I don't thaw it out all the way, but just enough that you can put a knife through it. And then I'll throw that in the blender and just literally just throw a couple pieces of frozen bacon in there and, shoot it back out through the blender again and make patties and cook it that way. And if I am going to add pork, I don't add it and then freeze it. Like I'll get like a pork loin roast, throw it in the freezer separately. So if I'm going to make a dish, trying to think one of them that I would make, it would be more like a casserole. It wouldn't be anything I would pan fry. Like chili. Chili is a perfect example. I do put some in when I make chili. I would take it again, run the venison through the grinder, but this time run it through with like a hunk of the pork loin and mix them together and then throw them in the crock pot for chili. Yeah. Butterflies and Sunshine says bacon makes everything better.
It does. Wendy would even agree with you.
Well,
Good.
I heard my name getting mentioned.
Bacon makes everything better.
Yep, bacon's even good on its own any time of the day.
It's
There
true.
you go.
And I've been like here we're getting just the first frost of the year, so we're like harvesting all the tomatoes, and I've been doing BLTs. Like we've got some like Swiss chard and some lettuces that we grow and our own tomatoes. Oh my gosh, it's so good! Just a piece of bacon, piece of lettuce, and a piece of tomato on like a quality piece of bread. So good.
Mhm.
What?
Brother Bob's on about BLTs, homemade BLTs.
I tell you the bacon and the tomato, not the lettuce.
Wendy doesn't like lettuce.
No.
No lettuce.
No lettuce. But
Any
me,
lettuce?
yeah,
There's a lot
definitely.
of lettuce
I tell you the
options.
bacon and the tomato in a sandwich, definitely.
Wendy does not like salad much.
Is it the texture?
Tomatoes, it's the texture is probably one of them. But Wendy is not a big salad fan.
About
She'll
cabbage.
have everything. She loves cabbage.
Oh yeah.
Because like here we have like a cabbage salad. It's kind of like what you would make. I don't know if you have coleslaw there, but it's like what you would make coleslaw
Yep.
with. So it's like cuts of cabbage, some carrot. I forget what else is in there. But I like adding that to sandwiches because it gives you that texture. If I don't have lettuce, I actually like that better. And then you put a sauce in that cabbage. Like we just made fish tacos and we used like a sauce called Bang Bang sauce over here.
I'm reading comments in chat here, and it's like, someone's like, I can't imagine going through life without bacon.
Yeah.
and then
That person speaking sense.
I
And then-
had
and then-
chocolate covered bacon. Awesome.
dark chocolate covered. What do you mean dark chocolate covered bacon?
I had
I'm
that in
baffled.
Alaska of
Right,
all
I've got
places.
some in there, but
In the
no, I
middle
don't like
of
dark chocolate
where
either,
people
so
would
that's
think you don't have anything special.
Blech.
I had that in the middle of Alaska. It was delicious. Tim, I heard the same thing. Like rendered bear fat and bear bacon is delicious. And I've tried some bear and I've screwed it up because it was horrible. And then I had some bear like a year later by somebody who knew how to cook it, and it was awesome. The thing I didn't like about the bear, I guess, and again, it's like in your mind, it was so sweet that it tasted like somebody already added something to it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It tasted good. I couldn't say it was bad, but it put me off because I'm like, what is in this? And it tasted sweet to me.
Would that be like the same way that would be like, now I've had maple bacon. I've had honey cured bacon, and it's like, that something's been added to make it sweet.
Yeah.
But when you add something to make it sweet, it's what's what I'm looking for? Like bacon's meant to be salty.
Right.
Bacon
right.
is a salty. So when you
Yeah.
try and add something sweet, I would rather add the sweetness myself than actually
Right.
have it
I'm
like,
the same way. Have them with your pancakes with syrup if you want. Like
yeah,
something sweet.
exactly. I'd rather have like the saltiness from the bacon, and then I would rather have like the maple syrup myself.
Tim said the local processor told me he smoked some and told me it's amazing. Yeah, my neighbor that lives by me now, when the kids were like little babies, he called me. He's like, "Get over here! I got a bear." So we went over there. And he had the bear hanging in his garage, and he was like cleaning it all up, pulling it off. And he chopped us up some, and we made sausage links right there, and those were really good. And it was nothing but straight bear in casings, and it was good. But like again, we put it in the spaghetti sauce, and it tasted like I had dumped sugar in it. And that it was just, it was like, yeah, I think what it is you come into food like with like a preconceived notion of what it's supposed to taste like or what sausage is going to taste like. And it's just like, we're kind of stuck in our ways. Like that's because we eat beef sausage. And there's really nothing saying that something else is better or worse. You're comparing it to something else. And you really can't.
It's like haggis, It's like haggis.
Oh, no. The haggis. I am going to shoot a haggis video. I am going to definitely shoot a haggis video this winter. How to catch haggis. I'm going to wait till the flies arrive. I'm going to catch haggis with them.
I'm waiting for our haggis season is open on April.
How many are you allowed to harvest?
We can,
as many as you can. I know you guys are allowed to harm the haggis.
Well, depends on how you're going to catch them. I mean, they treble hooks are already set in traps. Like, you know what I mean? That thing's got no chance, man.
Oh man!
I mean, that haggis. Pardon?
Are you allowed to poison them there? I mean, I saw if anyone hasn't seen the short that Stuart has out on how to catch a haggis, I mean, he's got 7 or 8 treble hooks that he uses on the rig.
6. It was 6. 6 massive treble. 6 massive treble hooks.
Yeah, definitely is.
Our season for haggis opens in April.
April.
Yep, April.
Right after
April's
April
the. Hey.
Right after April Fool. Do you have April Fool's Day in Scotland?
Yeah, we've got April Fool's Day in Scotland.
In America, we call April Fool's Day.
Yeah, we get that across here.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's when our haggis season's open.
It just happens to open then.
That just happens to open that day.
Nice.
So you got the grouse moors are basically like heaving with people looking for them. Very scarce creature, like they are there. I'll show you one. Once I grab one, I'll show you what haggis is.
I'm waiting. I want to see that. Sounds like what we used to hunt snipe over here. We used to hunt a lot of snipe.
Well, we get snipe across. Well, look, we get snipe here, but we also get woodcock.
Yeah, we have those.
Woodcock is gorgeous.
I saw one that we have them right here. I actually saw one hunting last week. It was the first one I've seen, and that was right in our yard. And I haven't seen one in years. But it's amazing what you'll see when you just go sit next to a tree for 8 hours. They came right up to us. I was like, telling Lyle, I'm like, that's a woodcock. And he's like, what? Take a picture of it. Go look it up.
I mean,
any fin fools are everywhere. They need a worldwide day too. Butterflies in sunshine. That's right.
Well, yep.
We need our holiday. What did I want to say? Any local people watching? I think we got a fish derby coming up. Trout derby on November 4th, I believe. Look it up. Don't take my word for it, but Loch Ash Reservoir, Montgomery County. They're going to stock it with trout. And November 4th, they're going to be fishing it. So sign up, look it up on, like Google it. I think it is through Ambler. Look at that beautiful box of flies. That is.
I wonder who they're going to.
You're clear. He's not here. I don't think he's watching either. He's probably doing his homework.
I reckon this side is going to be your side. This is all natural stuff. That's all naturals. I think you're going to be looking more to them. That there is Kevin's side. He's going to take one look at the juicy. Right, I've got worms buried in here, right? And I'm not joking when I say worms.
I'm talking. You can catch with those.
Take them out and let them see.
Pardon?
What would you say you can catch with all those? Like they all look like trout flies on the left, but the right ones look like there's some like rabbit fur in there. Like you can catch some pike, bass, and
Well, these ones here, I'll take one out to show you because this is the box I'm going to have to get for you. I'm going to get in our box because this one doesn't shut right for some strange reason. These are called squirmy wormies. Well, not really squirmy wormies. They're like mop flies.
they look good.
So bass, trout, well, especially rainbow trout. So you go to stock pond, you put them under a bung. You use a thing called a bung, so you're like floats on top of the surface. So this is wiggling and
like a
jig.
float / indicator. Is that?
Yeah, bite indicator, right? So they'll hang underneath it about 3-4 feet.
Yeah.
Just
stare at the
but-
indicator to move.
But this is going to be, this is Kevin all over. I can guarantee you. This is what Kevin's going to get.
I mean,
He'll be saying this is the.
He can get a fish with no mouth to bite if he hits it enough times. I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, leave that fish alone. Next thing I know, he's got it. And I'm like, he'll sight fish anything and catch it. It's pretty like that's where he's a lot better than I am. Like I'll sight fish, cast a couple times. If they don't bite, I move on. He'll sit there the rest of the day till he catches that fish.
Well, these things.
Atlas says clicking rocks together for snipe works. Mission Discover, which is Nolan, just came in. Stuart, I only got a few minutes before you go teach a trumpet lesson. Sweet. He says, "Hey, Uncle Stewie."
Hello. Now, this is on a smaller scale, right?
What is that? It looks like a shrimp.
It's not a shrimp. This here is what you call an Apps bloodworm.
Okay.
So you've got 3 antennas at the front. You've got 3 antennas at the back. So there's 3 at the back. You've got 3 at the front. Now these are tied on a size 14. They're going to somebody else that needs them. But Kevin's ones are, now there's 3 beads on them ones. Kevin's ones have got 4.
Okay.
They are weighted, so be mindful. They will be kind of heavy to try and cast.
Okay. He does a lot of roll casting, like when we're in the creeks. So that's something you can roll cast.
Here's the deluxe dinner, right? The trout's deluxe dinner. I'm going to call them because Kev. This, like say, this nasty. I call this the nasty.
Tammy and Ray from Mom and Son Trail.
Hi, Mom and Son. Hello,
Stuart. I don't know if you're aware, but we have a hurricane coming through that's named Tammy.
I'm too much polite to say anything, Bob. Trust me, I'm too kind of a guy.
Smart man.
This is one of Kevin's. Now they're longer, right? You've still got the 3 strands, but they're longer. Okay. You've actually got 5 beads on these. They're 5 beads, not 4. They're weighted. It's been UV resined and varnished, so that's on there.
Nice.
Right, so that's with red legs. I've actually changed it up a little bit, but not much. This is what I'm saying. I need to try and get you another box because this one's not shutting properly.
Tammy said just out with it.
Out with it. No, I can't, Tammy. I can't. If I was on my own live, then yes. But if I'm on,
I already gave him a warning. I warned them.
Well, you've got this one. Now this has got olive legs.
It looks buggy, man. That looks so buggy. It's got to get.
It's olive legs. So this is like an olive with the red body. Mm-hmm. The red bodies are just to basically have it as a hot spot, but it's
they'll sink, right? They'll be under the water. Yeah.
Yeah. You try and
you're gonna run them under a float.
Well, basically a bait indicator or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I
if you know what I
wasn't sure
mean.
because
So
we fish them either on top or we'll fish them like
That one.
right below the surface, or sometimes they'll just straight up sink and we'll sink them,
yeah,
bounce on the bottom, or put an indicator on it.
I don't know
Thanks,
if
Jeremy.
since you do a lot of shooting and hunting, freshly shot haggis is a wee ones are £4. That's our money. The big wee one is £8,
Right.
and for a monster thing, you are
16.
six,
I think it's about 16.
£15 for a massive haggis.
I'm gonna go.
So
I'm
that's
gonna get I'm gonna have to get the massive haggis.
right. So that then it's got to be complemented with a Highland Park malt,
Got to do what
a
you
malt
got to do.
whiskey.
Sounds good to me.
Oh
No,
man.
50.
So yeah,
14 and
it's
15.
it's a lot of work to try and catch a haggis.
And then that's what they end up like.
I mean, it
It's
really is a lot. It's a lot of really a lot of hard work to try and catch a haggis.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone in chat have anything they want to talk about? If they got any premieres coming up, let us know. We'll try to visit your channels and feel free to drop links if you got a premiere coming up or anything. Stuart, you got anything coming? I know you're always live tying, right? You have any other? You got what's in
I'm
your?
going
next
fishing on
meeting?
Thursday.
You're fishing
I'm going
Thursday?
fishing on Thursday.
Trout or
I'm going sea fishing.
sea fishing? Okay, nice.
I'm
What are
going to
you
try and
targeting besides finned fish?
probably I'm hoping for a cod. In all fairness, if I can try and wangle out a cod, fair enough. If I can't wangle out one of them, any fin will do.
Yeah. Yeah, where we are, I just start seeing reports of striped bass coming back in, and it's like, man, we've made 3 trips this fall, and like I knew we were on a bad week each time. Like I would call the shop that we go down, and he's like, it's not any good. I'm like, oh well, this is the only week I have this month. Is there any fish around? And he's like, there's a couple. And I'm like, I'll be down. But
So yeah, this side here is definitely Kevin written all over it.
that looks like
This
Kevin.
is definitely That's
Go
Kevin,
big, then go home.
and
That's Kevin.
and then basically you've got. I can see you just saying, "Well, Kim, what if you're going to use the other side? I'm going to use this, the
Yep.
natural, more
And then I'll
what
get
fish
you-
would usually go
Yep.
for."
Yeah, and he'll beat me 4-1. Nolan said I'll try to have a video out Thursday, but I'm real busy, so we'll see. I'm going to try to get. I've got 2 videos to put out myself. I got a hunting video with Lyle's first squirrel, which is awesome. I'm like really, but I want to wait till we actually make the recipe. We got a really cool recipe we're making, and then another trout video. Is it trout? Yes. We actually skipped school and work to make this one. It was such a nice day. We ended up catching, I think we caught 18 trout in like 3 days. We had a good couple of days of fishing. They just stocked over here. So it's like when the stocking truck comes around here, you have to like follow it because people come with like buckets right behind it and it's like gone. People are like, oh, I'll go the weekend. I'm like, yeah, too late. They're like, what do you mean it's too late? Like, I'll send pictures. Like I skipped work and I got there at 9 o'clock and it's elbow to elbow with people just hauling them out of there. It's not sporting at all. It really isn't. But they taste good. I already bought a license. So like when I look at it, I'm like, I got to get some of my money back.
The problem with rainbow trout, right? And I know that they're an American fish, right? They're not indigenous to this country at all. We get them. We get them from fry stage, and then basically rearing ponds, and then like stocking ponds, build them up, and I'm thinking, well, wait a minute here. If that's if they're getting stocked and how they're getting fed, and it's like mean, don't get me wrong, fishing wouldn't be fishing without a rainbow trout here in Scotland. I can assure you of that.
I saw
But they
that. I mean,
just,
you were catching monsters out there. They were monsters. I mean,
I mean,
to
that
catch
tiger
like
trout.
a 5-pounder here would be like a lifetime fish.
By the way,
Serious.
can I just ask you something? Have you seen the size of Kevin's trout that got named after him? The one I caught.
I don't. I
Did
don't
you see
think I
it?
saw. No, I don't think so. I know you had like an 8 or something, right?
That was on a Saturday. I'm wanting you to look at this.
It's so
Right.
hard to keep up because you're doing the lives all day, and then I can't figure out. Like, I just get so busy, I can't find anything. I heard
This
you
this
mention it.
this is courtesy of
Butterflies
me
and
cut.
sunshine trying to break my PB flathead tomorrow night. Fish on Ed Evans. Oh, nice, nice. So that's what 12 butterflies and sunshine, 12 to 4 a.m. See you, Nolan. And that's a rainbow, right? You said rainbow
Nope.
trout.
That's Kevin's brown trout that I caught for him. That's
Wow,
a brown trout.
I saw you
Ten-
fishing. You're trying to catch them after like you had like 8 people you had to try to catch fish for.
No, well, you came in to chat on Sunday, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to catch a fish for you." So I caught one, and it was about
No
3-4
problem.
pound, and then next thing is, I was like, "Well, the next one's going to Kevin, 10 pound plus brown trout, my personal best."
Awesome, man. I don't remember what we did. I know we fished sun up to sundown because Saturday you can't hunt Sundays. So Saturdays,
Uh-huh.
right this time of year is hunting. So I'm with Lyle every Saturday, sun up to sundown. And then Sunday, Kevin's like, oh, I need some of my time now. So it's like sun up to sundown with Kevin. Just chaos.
This was your one, Bob. That was your fish.
I mean, that's a little fat, a little chunky.
That's a rainbow trout.
That's a nice fish. How big was that?
That was about 5. That was about 5-6 pound.
Jesus.
And then next thing is the next fish after that was, like I said, the next one's going to be coming from Kevin.
Now,
And then there was
what's
like
the
10.
rules there? There's stopped, and then you can't keep them, or you can keep them, or what's the rules there?
You can keep them, but the thing is, it costs more to keep them than it is like for me
So-
catch and release.
it's
So,
one of the
I mean, when I
things
said-
you catch and you got to pay to take them.
Yeah, I mean, you pay a little bit more to take the fish home. But then I said, I mean, as I said on my live on the Sunday, because it was like my redemption weekend, I turned around and said that when you came into chat, and I was like, well, I'm going to catch a fish for you now, brother Bob, because I call you Bob, you see, because like Bob's like the Scottish word. Instead of saying Bob, it's like Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, there you go, Bob. Here's a fish for you. And I caught one for you. And the next thing is I said, well, next one's for Kevin. Well, it was a like double figure brown trout. I was like, Kevin, I hope you're watching this. And I was like, I was hoping that you're going to replay the live back for him.
Yeah,
On
I have to find.
Because-
That was this past Sunday, right?
that was, I've got them marked. I've actually got them marked. If you look through my channel, it's got Epic Saturday,
Okay.
right? Epic fly fishing. So that was on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday I got an Epic PB brown trout.
That's it. Okay. I'll go.
So if you can watch them two, like the Saturday one first, and then go on to Sunday.
See what
I mean,
happens is
you-
I go and pull up a video, and like I'll play it, and then I'll get busy working, right? And it'll be on another monitor. It'll be playing, but I'll be taking calls, doing my job, and like sometimes I'll have like plenty of time to watch it. Other times I gotta look over and it's 4 videos later, like just playing it, you know. So I just let it roll. So I figured it helps anyway with the minutes, and I catch what I can catch. If I had to stop it every time I took a call or something, like
Mhm.
I'd probably not get anywhere, you know.
Well, if you ever get a chance of a
I'll watch
free,
it, definitely. I'll show
if you
that.
do get a free chance, because I caught a tiger trout. I got a tiger trout on the Saturday. That was the first one I caught.
You caught was a tiger. I saw that.
That was on the that was the Saturday.
That was before
Well-
or maybe when we first got back from the hunting stand. I watched that while we were warming up.
I caught a tiger, and then, like I say, 11 rainbows came after that. I caught.
Uh-oh. Stuart's gone. There he's back.
No, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
It was you had a glitch, and there was like I caught one. I caught a rainbow trout with a landing net only, without even putting a fly near its
I
mouth,
heard
and I
you
went,
say that. Yeah.
uh-huh. I was like, poor thing was injured. A heron tried to get a hold of it to try and grab it to eat it.
Yeah.
And I was like, waste of a fish.
Right.
But then, like I say, when I went there on the Sunday, I was like, right, I know what the flies are. I know what I'm going to be using. I still use the same 2 flies that I used on the Saturday, and I was like, something's going to happen. Something special is going to happen. Next thing is that big brown trout came out absolutely nowhere.
That's awesome.
The only reason I knew it was a different fish because it didn't shake its head.
Yeah.
Rainbow trout, when they're hooked, when rainbow trout are hooked, their head is always shaking.
Yeah.
This didn't head shake, and I went, this is either a big brown trout or this is going to be one of the biggest. This is going to be one of the biggest tiger trout that I've ever caught in my life.
Nice.
When I seen the tail of the brown trout, and I said, "Here you go, Kevin. This is for you." And I was holding on to this thing.
Like, how do you fish for a trout there? Is that common? Like, where you go to a place and you have to, like here, the state, we have some wilds, right? And then the spots we have that are stocked, the state stocks them. You buy a license, you spend $30, $40, $50, whatever it is, for the license up front. And then whenever the state stocks, like you can go and you're allowed to keep 6 part of the year. And then like this time of year in the fall drops down to 3. So you can, like, every day you can go and take 3 or 5. And those are free. You paid up front. But then we do have pay lakes. But the difference with our pay lakes are, like, you go and fish for trout there. If you catch a trout, you have to keep it and you have to pay for it.
Well, see, it's different here.
That's what, because pay lakes have a horrible name in the U.S. Like, people are like, "Oh, that's cheating." I'm like, you don't understand how the rest of the world works. Like we're brand new. We've been like on this continent for what, like 200 years, 300 years tops. And I'm like, these guys have been here thousands of years. There's only so many places to fish, right? You have to manage your resources a little differently. So pay lakes over there are actually very sporting. It's like a whole different dynamic that I don't know how to put it, but a lot of people here poo-poo it. And I'm like, yeah, give it a chance. If they're not from America, you better sit down and, like, listen to them.
Well, I can tell you, as far as what we do across here, we have got wild brown trout. You don't need a permit to fish for them if they're in a loch.
After a what?
We've got if they're in a hill loch, what we call like hill lochs, which is like a hill. It's like a loch up in the hills.
Oh, hills.
You don't. Yeah, right. So, you don't really need a permit for it, but if you ask for permission from a landowner or proprietor to fish for them, you can do. Rainbow trout are different because, like I say, they're not indigenous to here, but they cost an arm and a leg to stock a place with them. So if I do catch and release, that gives somebody else a chance to, like, catch that trout that I've just had.
Yeah.
So from there, you'd be thinking, well, this would be crazy to take this one home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted.
Bulk, welcome in. Tin can waving.
Hello, Bulk. Hello, Bulk. Brother Jason's in the house. Brother Jason's in the house. He just messaged me, actually. He's like, hello. I haven't got a chance to reply back to it. So he's in here like, hello, Jason. Crazy. Hello, well, Japan. So, yeah.
We're actually going to fish somewhere Saturday, and we don't do pay lakes often. because they do have a bad reputation in America a lot. Like they kind of look down at you. But how I look at it, first of all, like it's the best place to take a kid who's never fished before because you know they're stocked, they're in there, and you can actually practice your technique and learn.
Well, this
Also,
is
the
why
people
I
that
gave
own
him.
them are awesome people. They're like in America, at least, it's always like a mom and pop place that have dug a hole in their backyard or some type of a lake, and like you're helping them live their lifestyle that they want to live. It's not like you're handing your government a bunch of money. You're actually giving it to another individual. Where we're
I
going
mean, this
Saturday is
is
actually for Kevin's birthday party. So he's like, this place is hosting Kevin's birthday party. So it's going to be Kevin and all his friends from school. And we're going to have a barbecue and they're going to give every kid a fishing rod and we're going to take them out to the lake and we're going to catch them. It's sunfish, bass, but this place doesn't like us coming because we have it dialed in and we know how to catch all their big channel cats. So
hi,
we're going to go catch all their big channel cats again.
hi, Rubline. Well, this is what I'm
Mike,
saying.
thanks. Welcome in, buddy.
For this side here, right, where my finger is on, right, for that side there, that is ideal material for any kid to start out on.
What
Right?
kind of, is that
Now,
rabbit or is that fur or is it a hare?
it's marabou. It's feather.
Yeah, so it has an undulating.
Yeah.
When you jerk it, it kind of like goes, shoo, 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 gets a
Yeah.
good reaction strike.
Now, I tell you one of my favorites, right? I'm going to show you one of my all-time favorites.
There's wild Japans in the house. There's another one. So one draw of pay ponds in Japan is being able to fish species you normally don't. Exactly. Another good point.
That.
That is, it's like almost invisible, and I think it would like tick a fish off that they can't see it. And you see all the light, so it looks like the thing is fleeing. That's awesome.
That there is basically it's a bait fish imitation.
Right. It's going to get
It's
all
called
that
a
flash.
black and it's basically called a black and silver humongous.
What's the like is the coloration, so you got something that's flashy and then you got the black, so it shows up better because it's like
well basically you think that the black bit's the tail of a bait fish,
okay,
the silver bit's its body, and then you've got the head end, which is basically where your weight is. I mean, this is weighted, so when this sinks it'll go head first, and then as soon as you like tweak it back it'll go back up again.
like a dying minnow or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Trout,
It's like jerk bait or something like that.
Trout love them.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I mean, I've thought this process through, right?
That's
I'm not
Big
just
Tiny.
gonna.
I thought that's who that was. That's Big Tiny, Rubline Sense. Awesome. He does. I know Ted uses Ted Hooked on the Outdoors uses his sense. He was talking them up in his last few videos. Cool stuff.
Well, like I said, you've got a multitude of things here. I mean, these are actually ideal on rivers, right? Rivers, pond. Well, we're trying to like float it this way.
We call them cricks.
Right. So this here, you've got red tags along the top. Then you've got hoppers. You've got like dragonfly, mayfly, sage imitation type things. Nymphs, because they're all weighted heads. And then this is like spiders this end. And then, well, that's actually all spiders on that end. And then you've got deer hair.
Nice.
These things are deer hair.
Flies. They float.
Yeah, basically dry flies. And then this is like these black ones here. They're like ant imitations.
Okay.
They've got ant bodies on them, but they're like a black spider. I even tied one up. I'll try and show you how good this is. If I show you that, right?
Yeah.
Now the thick parts at the back there, right? So if I bring my hand this way, you see that little hair that sticks up at the back, right? So like you can see it here.
Looks like a leg, and all the other ones look like feathers or
That's
something. It's different.
that's legs. That's
Okay.
pheasant tail. That's pheasant tail knotted,
Nice.
and it basically looks like hoppers and whatever else. So I mean, I've thought this through for him.
That's awesome.
Because if he goes to a river, he's got the natural stuff that a fish would be feeding on. If he goes to a
Yeah.
stock pond, where you're going to take him, fish are
Yeah.
going to love the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the more resident fish that have been in the place a while. They'll be thinking, well, I want something that's natural because they have seen everything that's been thrown
they're
at them.
smart. Yeah, we fish a lot of wilds. We fish everything. You've seen us. Like, we fish everything.
Yeah.
We'll go to a
course.
pay pond. We'll go to a spot where they're like, natives. We'll fish wilds. We fish them all. So yeah, we'll go through the whole box for
I
sure.
mean, like say bass, but bass would even take the hold of this stuff on that ugly side. I call it ugly side
all
of
those
fly
reaction
bass.
bites. Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Pike and pickerel. He loves catching pickerel, and I've got a good spot where we could get in there with the flies and throw some of those for pickerel for sure.
If you're
Actually,
if
this
you're
weekend,
ever
Sunday, we're going up to a spot where we can catch pickerel with flies.
this is my when all else fails fly.
Thank you, Tiny Rub Lines. Love the flags, anything. My PA and my Alaska flags. That's right, the Big Dipper.
Well,
That's what Alaska's flag is, the Big Dipper.
this here is my when all else fails. I tied this in 2018, right? The same thing, and I've just been making loads of them because these work, right? A hot-headed cat's whisker without a wing.
That's awesome.
This is what trout love.
I guess you never tie just one, right? You have to tie multiples because if you catch something, you want to have extras and know I'm gonna go home and tie 10 more of those.
I mean, there's a whole row in here, right? Just basically Apis bloodworms.
Nice.
A whole row. So this box is going to get emptied out to go into a bigger box.
That's awesome. Yeah, we appreciate that. Well, I appreciate it. You don't even know it yet. It's going to be a nice little Christmas treat
Christmas
for him,
present,
for sure.
Christmas present surprise for him.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. You'll be.
Or whenever you want to give it to him, you can just do that. But I mean, I would like to see him like.
We'll do it. We'll do a video of him opening it for sure.
Oh, that would be amazing. I mean, his whole. I could just. I mean, that box can be shared between all of yous. I'm just giving it to Kevin because he's the youngest. He's the youngest, and it's like
we share
to
everything.
me.
We really share everything. And I say that like he'll take my. Like I always give him a hard time for losing my stuff, but like literally, I don't know if I own anything anymore. Like everything he's won through like kids derbies and like in the US they throw stuff at kids because the kids don't seem like they want to do anything outdoors anymore. So when somebody sees a kid fishing, they're like, oh, here's this, here's that. So we go to derbies and he just wins like fishing rods. He's got 3 fly rods. I don't have any. I have to borrow his fly rod. Like he's got like 6 or 7 different trout rods. It's like most of it's his stuff now. I just borrow it.
I mean, honestly, I mean, when I'm looking.
That's awesome. Sorry to cut you off.
It's okay. It's okay.
Stationed at Fort Richardson, Alaska from 84 to 87. Lived in Anchorage 3.5 years. Awesome. I don't know how I didn't know that. We had to have this conversation, but I operated, I still own it, fishing business on the Hulitna River, which is like the nearest town is Sleepmute, Aniak, Alaska. So interior. But we fly through Anchorage. We come into Anchorage and then go Anchorage to like Aniak and then go in on a little puddle jumper from there to our cabin.
Can I ask what's Rob Line's name? Is it Rick?
It is Rick, aka Big Tiny's Outdoors. I know him from Big Tiny's Outdoors, and I didn't realize he had like a separate channel. I knew he did Rub Line. I knew that was like his other.
Well, I'm going to say thank you because he said love the flags. Thank you.
Yeah, all the flags, man. So that's. Both are Scotland, right? You told me this. The bottom is the traditional Scottish flag. The top is the lion,
this is
right?
the salt. This is the saltire behind me.
Mm-hmm.
that one up there is the Lion Rampant.
That's awesome.
So basically, the one that's here behind me is like the one that we use all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like having in America, right? You've got like your normal stars and stripes,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Then you've got the Confederate flag.
No, not anymore. Not allowed to say that one anymore. That's gone. Literally gone.
Really?
Gone. Gone.
Right.
That's a no-go.
Well, I'm just saying that you've got two flags, right? Now you've only got one, but what I'm
You only
saying is
got
like the
one.
same kind.
It's been erased.
It's the same thing here.
And I come from a family with a lot of Southern root to them and a lot of Confederate flags flown in the past. Gone.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Really?
Gone. Hate, almost like I hate crime in the U.S. now.
Wow.
Yep. Just erase that history, completely gone. I'm not going to say anymore.
I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know. I mean, I'm learning every day. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I
from a
mean?
historical standpoint, it's very significant, but it's gone, sadly.
So I mean,
Redline said, "Is my company YouTube that I run? Dad's side of the family is PA Dutch. Yeah, we're PA Dutch. I'm PA Dutch and Croatian. Yeah, I got a lot of German and Scottish blood in me. That's why Stuart and I are like, related.
we probably are.
We
We probably are. I mean, I would never have it any other way. I mean, let's say I've got this one here, and like I say, I've got that one up there. So
it's crazy. I mean, I've traveled the world with racing. I got to travel a lot, and it's like you get everybody's governments are all screwed up, no matter where you're from. And it's like every person I meet, it's like everyone's so similar. They act like everyone's so different in the world. It's the governments that are different. You meet people, and it's like the same. Everyone's just trying to get by and do their thing.
Earn the crust. Earn the crust.
Yep. Crazy, man.
This side of the wall, right? This little bit here next to this, well, next to flags. I'm gonna get a bit of tartan, and I'm gonna have like a tartan border coming down this bit.
Nice, nice.
I'm definitely thinking we're getting a tartan border.
That would be
just
awesome.
to fill in that blank space there.
I always I want to work on that, but my life is so chaotic. It's out of control. Like our animals, we had 2 cats, right? 2 female cats. We just had a stray that I got literally thrown off of Facebook for because I got a stray cat here. I'm not feeding it because the first thing half the people here say don't feed strays because what happens is you build a whole colony. So I said, I'm not feeding it. And then I got all this animal hatred stuff. You're starving this poor cat. I'm not starving it. I just want it to move on. I don't want it to be dependent on my house. Right. So I got kicked off of Facebook for that. The cat is now living in my dang house. I paid $1,600 to get the thing neutered because it only had
I remember you saying that.
I needed a special surgery for it. Meanwhile, I still get kicked off of Facebook because I'm an animal evil person or whatever. No one else that claimed to be animal lovers stepped up to help. Didn't give a dime, nothing. I got the damn cat in my house now. So that's my 3 cats. I've got 2 guinea pigs. We've got 2 turtles. We've got a ring snake. I've got a bass. I've got a sunfish. I've got crayfish. I've got 4 or 5 frogs, chickens. What else we got? I know I'm forgetting. It's crazy.
I was going to mention something, by the way. I remember watching one of your shorts, right, of Kevin, and I tell you, it still makes me smile to this day. They picked up this cutest, littlest, what do you call it, snapping turtle. It was just a little baby, and I was like, and I said to you in a comment, when I commented on the post, Kevin, put it in your pocket, take it home. Your dad won't know. Your dad won't know.
We haven't bought a pet ever. None of our pets We've never bought a pet in our life. They just come to us, or like we rescue them, or whatever you want to call it. And then we pay tons of money for surgeries and every time they need something, but we never actually go out and pay for something because, yeah, Wild Japan said at least the chickens give you eggs. It's exactly right.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I said to him, I says, put it in your pocket. Don't let your dad see it. Just take it home and let it grow old with you, and you
That's
grow
how we
old with
got
it.
them. That's how we got our. We have two painted turtles and we have a musk turtle. That's how we got those. Just the one he caught, the one painted turtle. They're really big now, and we have a 50-gallon tank for those. We have a 60 or 70-gallon tank for sunfish, which is now over a pound, and a catfish. We got a big catfish now. It's nonstop, but you know the kids are like, oh, we have an old house, almost 100-year-old house, so it's got a lot of rooms. They're not in great shape, and it's got like this huge basement that's semi-finished off. None of it looks good, so we've got space for stuff. And then we like people in America give away so much crap. They literally just throw stuff out. So most of the stuff we're able to find it costs nothing. So it just takes time. Like you see an aquarium. If I see an aquarium or a fish tank go up on a curbside, I take it every single time. And then eventually I'm like, oh, okay, here's a filter for sale or a filter for free. I'll pick that up. And then as soon as I have a habitat, I'm like, all right, I'm on the lookout for an animal that we can stick in there. Because Kevin wants
Frog.
Frog. Grab that turtle. We'll throw it in the tank. Oh man.
I could just see Kevin just like that. Right, I'm taking this home, and Dad's not going to know about it, and yeah, we'll just throw this in.
We
just throw it in there.
Crabs. So the reason we have 3 is we bought 2, right? The one escaped the night we got him. One escaped the tank. So we waited, like we looked everywhere in the house. 4 or 5 months later, we went down another trip down to where they sell hermit crabs. So we figured the other one died, right? So we got a replacement. It was like 7 months later. I'm laying in Lyle was in there by himself, and he hears a noise in his Lego container. He opens his Legos up, and there's the hermit crab that was lost for like 7 months before in his Lego container. No food, no water, 7 months. So now we have 3 hermit crabs.
Pete's sakes. It sounds like you're going to have to move house to get a zoo.
You know what? When I was little, I wanted a zoo. Like, and my neighbor and I, we were nuts. Like, we started a zoo in his backyard. Like, we were like 12. And we would dig a hole, and we'd go catch a carp, and we'd go stick it in that hole. Of course, like the hole would then drain, and we'd come home, and there'd be nothing there because a raccoon came and ate. It was just like, it was the most savage thing probably ever. But we were kids; we didn't know any better. But we had a frog, we had all the pets that we could catch. Mm-hmm. Now I'm kind of trying to do that, but like a little where the animals don't die constantly, so you can teach them about the environment, what they need, and they do good. All our animals are really healthy. We lose a couple fish here and there, but most of those is because another fish ate them.
I mean, I've seen some really funny things on the YouTube, and I've seen really funny things on Facebook. And one of the videos I came across about raccoons, there was a guy that was walking along a car park. Well, what you guys call a parking lot?
Yeah.
Like a car park. He's walking along a car park. It's like it's like this big massive green industrial bin. And I was like, what's he doing? Next thing he just opens up the lid, and there's nothing but raccoons in the bottom of this trash can. It was like, I mean, they looked up and like bleary eyed because it seemed like
yeah. We had an experience like that when Kristen and I were dating. I think still we were like driving across the country, and we stayed at a spot, and the campground. The morning you go down, like throw your trash out in the dumpster, and I lifted the lid, and there was like 2 raccoons in there. So you like flip the lid. I'm like, they're stuck. So we like went and got a branch, stuck the branch in, and we backed up. And eventually they crawled up and got out. And you figure this is probably a nightly routine. They just hop in and find a way out.
How did they get in there, though? I mean, that's the thing. How did they get in there?
I guess that's their life. Like that's their thing. They do figure out how they're going to get in each night.
The other video I seen this was hilarious. There was like a warehouse, and it had like nothing but alcohol inside this warehouse.
Uh-oh.
This is something. This is something. Well, this raccoon managed to get into this warehouse that had all this alcohol, like cans. I'm talking like Budweiser and whatever else. The raccoon sat there.
Fishhead. Welcome in, Fishhead. Ray.
Hello, Ray. Hello, brother Ray. Well, this raccoon got into this, like, as I say, warehouse, and it was like all these cases of beer, and it sat there, and it opened a can of beer and drunk it, and I was like, right, there's one.
Dude, they like that. Like,
yeah,
I know deer will seek out apples that have turned and become like they'll contain alcohol once they like ferment on the ground after a while. And I know deer are known to like seek those out. And you'll see it a rare video where they're rolling around intoxicated.
Fermented fruits.
We're not the only animals that like beer.
I mean, I was watching this raccoon go through, like I say, this warehouse, and it sat there and it got drunk, and it got up to walk, and it was so swinging side to side. It was like it completely intoxicated us. If that was to get breathalyzed, I think it would have been jail.
That's crazy. I just dropped the link if anyone else wants to pop up. I don't know how much longer we'll be live, but if anyone wants to pop up and say hi before we cut out, feel free. Yeah.
Oh, we'd like to see Kevin before you decide to disappear.
I never like ask him to do anything fishing related. Like, I don't want to burn him out. And I know people assume that like I make him fish or whatever. It's the total opposite. Like, I try not. I'm like, play more video games. Go to your room and play video games. You know, like I want him to be like a normal kid, and everyone else is on the other side where they're like, I wish my kid would go outdoors. Like, careful what you wish for, man. Be careful. You know, I got one who plays video games and one that's outside all the time. And I wish they'd both kind of like level out a little bit.
To be honest with you, I was always one for being.
My friend had to start dumping bleach in his cans. Tim, I know you know this because you watch my channel a lot, but when I operated my business in Alaska, I swear, if we had a bear that tasted beer, we'd have to put that bear down. It would come back to our cabins and try to break in every single night. And then I would get crap from like some of the people that would come to our lodge, like, oh, don't put down that bear. Dude, it's your fault. Like, I'm cleaning up the mess you started. You left your beer out. You caused this result. Because what would happen, and like perfect example is I had an 84-year-old dude that stayed. This dude right here. That's an 84-year-old dude that came up to our cabin once. Ed Case. And he was out on our porch the one night doing something. You know, we're in a little tiny cabin and probably forgot his boots or whatever. He went out there, whatever. Next morning, he's like, oh, I saw you up on the porch last night. We're in the middle of nowhere. And I look on the porch and I see muddy ball bear prints going across the porch. And he's like, oh, I saw you. I hollered, but by the time I came out, you were gone. I'm like, dude, he came out and talked to a bear. This guy thought it was like another person, came out and tried to talk to me. Like, you got an 84-year-old guy in the middle of Alaska opening a door and there's a bear on your porch because half the people that come up are sloppy. They leave their crap, they leave their beer laying around. And once they taste that, it's like donuts, man. They're going to come back. They're not as black bear. Brown bear, I'd rather live with a brown bear any day. They're predictable. But a black bear is just like a raccoon. They don't care. They'll keep coming back, but they're big enough to like kill you, and it'll be embarrassing because they're little. Now, if a brown bear kills you, it's like kind of cool. You're like, oh, brown bear got him. It was 1,000-pound brown bear. But like if you get killed by like a 200-pound black bear, which can still kill you, it's a little more embarrassing. But
I'd rather just feed the bear beer. And then I could start drinking beer, and the next thing is me and the bear would be like so drunk that we didn't even know what was happening.
We used to use 12-gauge shotguns, and I would put like I would use like 8-shot, I forget. I haven't dove hunted in a while. Maybe like 8-shot, whatever you would use for like dove, right? That was my
Mhm.
first shot, and I'd spray it like over their head, right? And then I'd use like squirrel, like 6-shot, and I'd try to pepper in front of them. If they didn't leave, I hit their paws a little bit to like actually let them know that like I'm making the noise, right? And I'm inflicting that pain on you right now. Don't come any closer. And then after that, shell 3 through 7 were all 12 gauge slugs because then it was like game on, you're going down. And if they broke that 30-yard line, we would clear cut 30 yards around. And if they were within that 30-yard zone and they weren't responding, you'd have to take them out.
See,
And I'd
see
take them
that-
out of my license, basically. I'd hunt them.
we don't have them here. We don't have bears here.
Were they ever there? Or
We did have wolves. We did have bear. We never had a thing called a mountain lion. We never had any of them, but we definitely had bear at some point, and we definitely had wolves.
okay.
But the biggest thing that we've got just now, roaming around the wild, would be our we call them wildcats. Yeah, our native wildcats. We've got them. They
Are they
are
like
big.
lynx? Or what?
There's something similar to a lynx. They're they're between a cat and what would you call it?
Bobcat,
Something to, yeah,
marten.
pardon?
Like a marten? Are they martens?
No, we've got pine martens too, but no, we've got a thing called a wildcat. Basically, it's got the pointy ears like a lynx,
Okay.
but they've got a big, stubby, bushy tail. They look like a tabby cat.
Like, are they
But
bigger? Do you know
very-
what a bobcat is? Does it look like a?
It's well,
How
I don't know
big?
what
Like, how
bobcat
much
is.
would they weigh? I'll look them up.
I think they're about. Well, I wouldn't know. I've seen sightings of them. I've heard sightings. Should I say? I've heard sightings of them in Scotland. I mean, they are a Scottish. They're like a bobcat.
And don't get started with the mountain lions. The mountain lions are out of control here. Like everybody's, everyone's convinced there's mountain lions all over Pennsylvania now, and it's like this big controversy whether there's mountain lions here or not. Everyone knows somebody who swears they've seen a mountain lion in Pennsylvania, and then like the government swears there aren't any mountain lions. It's kind of a fun
But
thing.
we've got wildcats. We've got. I'm trying to think what else we've got. I mean, we've got golden eagles here.
Okay.
I mean, that's our national bird.
Yeah.
Our national animal is a unicorn, believe it or not.
Naturally.
Right? So, the unicorn is our national animal. The biggest bird that we've got is our national bird, which is a golden eagle.
Tim said mountain lion is equal to the Pennsylvania Bigfoot.
Sasquatch.
So, yep, Sasquatch. I have a friend who hunts.
I know.
He swore he saw a monkey once in a tree stand, and I don't care. Like if you go hunting and you see a monkey, you can't come back to deer camp and say, "I'm pretty sure I just saw a monkey," because to this day, everyone's just like, "All right, like how many beers in was he?" Like you can't say you saw a monkey when you're out deer hunting. You ruin your reputation.
I mean, I was what was it? I can't remember whose live I was on, and because I've been on so many lives and on so many people's StreamYards, it's unreal. My mate Sammy, who I went to go down to see at his house.
Hey, Gabriel,
having
welcome in, buddy.
Hi, Gabriel. We were having this conversation about like what's like the weirdest food that we've ever eaten, and I mean we were having a conversation like, oh, he doesn't like this food, and Sammy was like, I don't like that food, I don't like this one, I don't like that one, I don't like this. I was like, well, what have you eaten, Sammy? There must have been something that you've eaten. He's like, roast monkey.
Oh my God, that's like the most controversial thing you could eat, right? Some people say that's like eating another human. That
Yeah, it's
heat,
like, and it was like, it's just like, he's like, roast monkey's good. I went, oh, what? It was like, surely you're pulling my chain, brother. And he's like,
was he serious?
it's just, yeah, but at least I made everybody laugh. I mean, he was joking. I mean, there's no way he's going to eat a roast monkey. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like,
Some cultures,
Sammy.
man. That's why. Like, I watched. You know who Meat Eater is? Steve Rinella. Steve Rinella.
I think so.
He's like, dude, that like he kind of like one of my huge big heroes. Like, he kind of explains like why meat eating is like natural to a human. And he went and like he did it like in his early days of his show. He would go and like learn the customs and like how other cultures would fish or hunt, and he'd get way out of his comfort zone. Like, I remember him going to like some like Aborigines that were like poisoning fish, and he's like, "This is so against what everything I believe, but who am I to tell this like tribe who's trying to live how to do things, right?" And like he found the culture. I think it was like maybe in the Amazon, I believe, where they actually ate monkey. And he said to this day, like as far as I know, it was the hardest thing for him to ever like try was monkey, because everything else he was able to put aside, but that was like to him was cannibalism. So like that was the one thing he could never like overcome.
Tim, since you've said that, right? I am not joking.
With monkey's good, I heard. Like you mix them like venison and pork. You mix them 50-50.
But yeah, it was a joke with Sammy. He said that roast chicken was. He knew for a fact that he didn't try it. I mean, he only said that for a laugh. But I've been 110% serious. Our national animal is the unicorn.
Are you?
If you look at the, if I'm being serious, our national animal is a unicorn. If you look at the British passport.
So what's the golden eagle again?
Well, the golden eagle's our national bird.
Okay.
Right? That's our national bird.
I don't even know what our national animal is. Maybe ours is the unicorn.
Ours is a unicorn because if you look at the British passport, the photo of that, you've got a lion on one side and you've got a unicorn with a chain around its neck.
Scotland sounds fun. I'm trying to get into my other computer here so I can search. I'm going to get locked out of my other computer. I forgot my password.
Tim, yours is the bald eagle. You're spot on with that one. But Gabriel,
supposed to be the turkey. We got afraid to picking the turkey, and we went with the bald eagle.
As soon as I got my tablet here, I'll actually tell you.
National animal.
Scotland's national animal.
Yeah, the bald eagle, national animal.
Well, that's your guys's.
Yeah. Yours is the unicorn. You know what's funny about that is like you guys were just like, it's going to be cool, the unicorn, right? We had a whole thought process about like war. Literally, like I think it was George Washington.
Here you go.
One of the earliest presidents. I know Washington was the first one, but somebody wanted the turkey. Look this up, guys. I'm not making this up. Somebody said, we do not want our national bird. Like it would look like it would show the world weakness that our national bird was the turkey. They just thought it looked weak. So they're like, we need like the bald eagle, you know, they're like that's something that could just hunt and kill everything it wanted to. That's what
anybody can Google this. Anybody can Google this, right? Scotland's national animal is a unicorn. You probably wouldn't think of a magical horned creature typically seen on children's lunchboxes, but it's true. The unicorn really is official national animal of Scotland, and our love for this famous mythological creature dates back many centuries. That's when you look at the British passport photo, there is a picture of the lion and a picture of a unicorn. The unicorn has got a chain around its neck.
That's awesome. I'm looking at it. I got the same article up. I think that's so cool.
Hi, Shad
Francis
Daddy.
Rooster.
Well, that's why it's called. What's the thing that you've got for Francis? It's what's it called? I think it's called a French spotted chicken, but it's what's it called?
The coq sportif.
Yeah, the coq sportif.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah. Gabriel said it's sort of with Benjamin Franklin passed the turkey. It was Ben Franklin. It wasn't a president, but that's exactly who I was thinking of. Shad Daddy, welcome. We're at the end, I think, but it's all chaos is broken loose. We're talking about national animals here. If what's does Japan have a national animal? I gotta search this up. Japan.
I know China had. I think was it China not got a dragon?
Yeah, they've got Chinese dragon. Right?
I think China was the dragon.
China's a dragon. That makes sense. I know. Are you?
I tried to hide a
Sure
comment
about
for
that,
you.
Wild Japan? I googled it and I got the green pheasant.
Let me help you there then, Bob. Bob.
You can
Let
Google
me
it.
help.
Am I wrong? China is a dragon. North Korea is a Kolima. What's a Kolima? Kolima.
Japan's national animal is a it's a snow monkey.
Okay. Wild Japan said green pheasant is the other one.
Macaque monkeys are the national animals of Japan, also known as snow monkeys because they often live in snowy mountain ranges. They have long, thick hair and red faces.
They're the
That's the ones that always
like
sit in the pool.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just jacuzzis.
That's awesome. I think we should change ours to Bigfoot. I think we should start a petition, Gabriel. Change America's national animal to Bigfoot. I think that would be awesome.
Well, I've already found him then. He's called the Big Show. Does WWE. He's got a size 22E boot.
They call Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Do you have that like creature over there? Anyone have that that legend or whatever you want to call it?
Well, we do have Yetis.
Yeah, that's the same thing, right?
Yeah, I think we've got. I don't know. I mean, I'll need to try and find out because
I think it's
maybe Yetis and what do you call it? I'm thinking maybe Yetis and the Haggises are in the same kind of areas. I will need to have
overpriced coolers. I think that's what a Yeti is, an overpriced cooler.
Well,
yeah, Loch Ness Monster, isn't that Scotland?
Here's one for you then. I don't know if you guys watch River Monsters. Can Jeremy Wade?
Jeremy Wade, we used to. That long time ago, that was our show.
Right. Well, Jeremy Wade did a research on his back door.
Yep.
Which is basically, if I'm pointing this way, I'm heading north. I'm pointing north.
Yeah, I heard you tell this before. Yep.
Yeah. Well, the Greenland shark is the Loch Ness Monster.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And the only reason it got into Loch Ness is because the River Ness. It's the only reason it got in there. And the Greenland shark is on, basically, it stays at the bottom of the water. Most sharks are usually between halfway up the surface.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Greenland shark is a bottom feeder.
Hmm.
Giant, brute, ugly looking thing.
Tim said he loves Jeremy Wade. Yeah, Jeremy Wade was awesome. North Dakota state fish is the northern pike. Sounds about right. Yeah, northern pike would be a good fish up there.
We actually get Arctic char here.
PA state fish is the brook trout. That's right. If you get a certificate, if you catch a large species of a fish in Pennsylvania, they send you like a badge, and it's got the brook trout on it because that's the Pennsylvania state fish. We
Well,
used
we
to, like,
get-
when Kevin first got into fishing, we started getting citations for certain fish. You got like 6. You can get 2 a year. The first 3 years, you got like 2, 2, and 2. Then we just stopped sending them.
Well, we've got Arctic char here, and I'm actually not that far from a place that's actually got them.
They're beautiful. We have those in Alaska. It's when they're in their colors. Oh my gosh! I have to post a picture. One of these lives, what I want to do is I've got so much old video. Like this was before phones when we operated in Alaska. This would probably been like 2000, like early 2000s to late 2000s. And I've got so many like videos. I don't know how to get the material off, but there's at least some stuff that would be worthy of like showing you somehow. It's pretty wild stuff that we got up there. Like I've got a video of a bear attacking a moose. Like it's savage stuff, but like we lived up there away from anything. So amazing stuff transpiring, like a pike coming up and smacking a duck off the surface. Like some crazy.
We get that
videos.
here. We get
But
that here.
I don't know how to get it. Like it's all it's all the discs, and I don't have a way to get it from the disc onto the computer
What
because
the-
none of the current computers take a disc.
Well, if you got an old
Now,
laptop,
Japan said Arctic graylings on their bucket list. Graylings, another fish that we have up there. Huge dorsal
Well-
fin, beautiful.
well, we got grayling here.
Nice. They're awesome fish.
I take it you don't have like an old laptop or something, no?
Not an old one that works.
You don't have a disk drive.
What's a disk drive?
It's a disk drive. Well, basically, it's like
Disc. I got nothing that
Yeah.
the disc will fit into.
is the tiny discs.
No, they're like pretty big.
Oh, like compact discs, like proper CD
the-
discs.
Yeah, it was what came out right after the floppy disk. We went from floppy disk, like that big square,
Yeah,
to that big round disk. They're all on the
yeah,
round.
it
disk.
looks like a
Oh, you know
compact
what?
disc.
Yeah, I got them right here.
Like a CD that people used to
Yeah,
like listen
like-
to music on.
Yep, exactly, CD size. God,
Well, most places should have a compact disc on a computer. If you've got like a desktop computer,
not anymore, man. None of these things do. Not here.
that's a pity.
Yeah, and I priced it one time, and it was like $500 for me to convert a couple of the discs. And then I even have like I've got these old ones from VHS
Yeah,
ordered. I've got hundreds of these, and it's all like
I've
raw
got a-
material from fishing in Alaska.
I've got a video recorder, right?
Mhm.
Now the little cases that you get of the little videos, you put them inside another like proper
That's what
VHS
these
tape.
were. They would fit into a bigger
Uh-huh.
VHS.
Believe it or not, what am I gonna say? The video
I'll check
player that
out,
I've got,
man.
the VHS player that I've got in the living room, you can put a compact disc as in like an empty, like blank DVD disc,
Mhm.
and you can actually record it from the video to disc.
Yeah, we had that technology like 10 years ago. It was more common and easy to find. and I just assumed it would still be there, you know, and then like you need a new computer, you go out and none of them have it, you know, and it's just like it's gone. And I'm stuck with all this old stuff and it's
Get
not,
try
I
and
don't have
get
the money to spend to do it, but like I try to keep it in like good shape because I'm hopeful someday I'll have the money. And some of it I do have on like photos. Like I have drawers and drawers of just like that. I've got just piles of fish pictures from Alaska. That it's just so many fun trips that, you know, like I would love to like share. But there's my dad with a Inaku she fish. They're only like 3 rivers around the world, but they're on our river. There's Mikey, one of our guests, with a big chum salmon. There's a
Don't
big
worry, that wasn't alcohol, Bob. That wasn't alcohol. That was a tin of
That's
Monster.
fine. I don't care what it was. Man, I don't know. I got to get these in order and try to make. Maybe I'll try to scan them. Do you know a good way to like?
Have you got a scanner?
Like a video of them or something. I don't know.
Well, you could do a CapCut version.
A what?
A CapCut. There's an app called CapCut.
Cap? CAP?
CAP cut. CapCut.
What's it do?
Right. Basically, what this does, I've got it here on my tablet, right? Now, where are you, my favorite app? Now, it's called CapCut.
Welcome back,
Now,
Nolan.
I'm going to load it up. Basically, one of the shorts I did on my YouTube channel, you know the one I did with the mints? Did you see that one?
With the what?
Oh, you give me
This one, right? Look, I'm going to try and like I used this CapCut thing. Now, let's see.
Nolan, you watching the Phillies game? Got any updates for us? Any Philly fans in here?
Right. This is basically what I did, right? I'll play it back to the start. So like did mints, and then it should like, right, I'll push the play button. So you got mints, and then it was like mushrooms, peppers,
So it
and
does like
then
a
other bits and
slideshow of photographs?
pieces. Yeah.
All right, I got something like that.
So,
I think one of
So
the reasons I want
you-
to do it is like right now they're in like format where it can get destroyed if our house burns down, right? So I kind of want to get it out there into like the cloud or whatever they call it, so that if our house burns down, like, I don't want to lose all that stuff. There's some cool stuff in there.
well, CapCut is what I do. It is basically like if I was to sit here and tie a fly, so basically put the hook in the vise, take another photo of thread on it,
Oh,
and then
rough,
basically
okay.
another. So you'd build it up that way
Okay.
until you get to the final, ending of the fly it's tied.
Mhm.
It would be an ideal app for you.
Yeah, I think
Just
I
a
got something
suggestion.
similar that would do something, but I'll check it out and see if it's. Yeah, I haven't
It's
really
called
thought about
CapCut.
that.
So basically CAP, so basically like a cap that you put on top of your head,
Yep.
and you
And
just
then
like
cut
pairs
with
this
a
off.
knife. I
Yeah.
wrote it down because I have no memory. I wrote it down, and I'll probably look at it and be like, "What's that?" Tomorrow I'll be like, "What is that?"
This is the symbol you're looking for is basically that little thing. Looks like an egg timer with a fishtail.
Okay. Mission Discovery uses it. All right. I just use some like. Well, I use one for most of them. I use the easy one on my phone because I do them like while I'm on the go at work. But then I have one that is a little more Like you can do a little better stuff with it on my desktop. So like snip something or other. I forget what it's called. Clip something.
Mm-hmm.
Same idea, I guess. But you still got to scan the actual photograph into it, right? So
No, you can just take your photograph.
Yeah.
Right? Take your photo.
yeah.
Right. So you just basically have the photo in front of you. You take a photo of that with just say whatever device you've got, your phone
Right.
or
You got to
your
take a
tablet.
picture of a picture, but that's like you lose. Well, at least I lose a lot of quality in that. Oh, look who's here.
Hello.
Hello, Stuart the Fish Whisperer.
Say what's up,
Yeah, it's your
What's
Uncle
up?
Stewie.
Uncle
It's your Uncle
Stewie.
Stewie.
Stewie Griffin. Come here. Come
We
here.
got the wildcat chasing us down. Yay, buddy boy! You say hi to everybody.
Aww.
Look, you're famous.
Hello.
No, you
Nope.
gotta be on camera.
No, leave him alone.
You want a drink?
Wildcat,
So how's my favorite nephew getting on?
doing good? You get your homework done?
Mm-mm.
Why aren't you fishing tonight? It's dark.
I know why am I?
Why am I not fishing? He says. I don't know. Nolan said hi. Fishhead Ray says hi.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, I think it's time to go. It's almost 9 o'clock here, and that's like past their bedtime.
No, 11 o'clock is past my bedtime.
It's my bedtime.
10 o'clock's my bedtime.
You guys get up early, and I got to get up early. Oh, thanks. You brought me a water.
Kevin, remember to give your dad the beer run this Friday.
Beer run. Thursday. I think he's actually going to join. I think he's joining me now because he's starting to ride mountain bikes, which I've tried to like hide him from. Like, that's what I used to race mountain bikes for a living. And now he's starting to get like into it. He said that like if he can't, don't do that with your teeth.
What?
He said if he can't make a living fishing, his backup job is going to be a professional mountain biker.
No, Kevin, trust me, you're going to be a professional fisherman one of these days. Trust me, kid. Trust me. It's coming. Just like have a little faith. Just have some
That's
faith at the
seltzer
moment.
water,
It'll
everybody.
come.
Calm down. That's just seltzer water.
Nope, it's fresh beer. Yeah, right? Yep.
No, it's
That's-
not.
You
Well,
want
root
some?
beer. Well, root beer's non-alcoholic.
Right, exactly. Root beer.
Root beer.
Take that root away. That's what it is.
That's black cherry seltzer water.
Black cherry beer.
You have seltzer water over there?
We've got Schweppes lemonade.
Yeah, Schweppes is a common.
Yeah, we got lemonade.
Same brand,
I don't have that one though. Black cherry.
but Schweppes the same
Seltzer.
company?
Yeah, Schweppes is the same company. We got lemonade across here.
Zero
Is it
calories.
carbonated lemonade?
Yep.
See that when I lived in Germany, that was like something I got hooked on. They had carbonated iced tea and carbonated orange
You
juice.
lived in
I spent like years.
Well,
over there.
a year?
We've got like all your like main brands, like so your like Fanta, Coca-Cola,
Yeah,
Pepsi. I mean, we've got like that, but and multitude of other flavors too. Schweppes is like the basically plain lemonade, but it's like an expensive brand of lemonade. It's unreal how much they actually charge for a bottle of that across here. I'm thinking, why? Now,
when I was in Germany, I know it was literally cheaper to order beer than water over there.
mhm.
Like, it blew me away. It was cheaper. And I remember going, like I was in high school at the time, and we'd go over there and you'd go to the soda machines and order a beer at the school out of their soda machines. And like that as like in the US, you can't drink till you're 21. And I was over there at like 16 or 17.
Mhm.
Blew me away.
I mean, my first proper drink of like when it comes to like beer was like 12.
Right. In the US,
But
it's
the
like
thing-
so weird. Like so you're driving, right? At 16 here. And then like 5 years later, you can like legally drink alcohol. like to me, it's just a bad combo. You're better off like experiencing it before you can legally drive, so you kind of understand how it works and your limitations. You know.
Well, that's what Clint Eastwood said. He says every man should know his limitations.
Right. I don't know. Some of the things are just like how they come up with these. It's just so like random, I think. And then they.
But no, I will be honest. I started drinking whiskey when I was like single digits with lemonade,
Yeah.
and that's. I mean, I was like 6, 7-year-old, and I was drinking like whiskey with lemonade.
Gabriel, we're right out behind you, buddy. Have a good night. Thanks for coming in.
See you after, Gabriel.
I think we
Yeah.
got to jump down and call it a night, Stuart. I really appreciate you coming up.
Well, thank you for having me.
I'll try
It's
to.
nice to
jump on
finally
some of
talk.
your
It's
lives
finally nice to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. I'll try to jump on some of your lives this week. I got to remember, like, I haven't been on other people's lives too much, so I have to like be able to figure out how to like put that icon up because like I'm gonna end up taking calls and I'm gonna have to mute it, or I'll get into some major problems with what I do for a living. So I have to make sure I'm able to mute and then go take a call or whatever, and then come back or something. But that would
Well,
be
let's see
awesome.
if you can. By the way, Kevin,
No.
I was out fishing a week past Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and I caught a trout. Right, I caught a rainbow trout first, and I caught it for your dad. I caught a double-figure brown trout, and I named it for you.
Double figure. It's over 10 pounds trout.
He did. Where are they?
They're in Scotland.
10-pound trout.
Mhm.
Let's go there tomorrow.
Bob, let him go. Let him have a look at that clip. It's on.
I'll
It's
find
on.
it. It's on from last weekend on his lives. We'll have to go pull it up and watch it. Do you know what the national animal is in Scotland?
Trout.
Nope. The unicorn.
It's a unicorn.
Yeah, it's the unicorn. Isn't that cool?
What is ours? The eagle or the
Yep, the
hawk?
eagle. The eagle.
Our national bird is an eagle, but our national animal is actually a unicorn.
It's cool.
I love unicorns.
It does.
They have a horn thing.
Exactly.
All right. I appreciate everyone coming in. We
Right. Love you, Bob. Love you,
Awesome.
nephew
Love you, Stu.
Kevin. Tell the rest of the family I said hi and give my kind regards.
Yeah, we'll do.
So, brother Bob and nephew Kev, sweet dreams, night night, and I'm
See you,
going to say
Stu.
bye bye to chat.
See you,
Catch you
Wendy.
after.
Have a good night.
Darling, the same.
No.
Bye.
Kim. See you. Bye, Wendy.
See you after.
Kim, Ray. Gabriel.
Bye-bye.
Are you still hanging out? Have a good night. We're out. Peace. Bulk.